G'day and welcome to Wambam. On today's show, Danielle catches up with former Olympian and mountain biking convert Tony Davis. Paul gets on the trails with the Friends of the Hardwood Trail. Mark gives us some tips on buying the right type of bike. And we check out the action from the first round of the State Series competition. But first, in case you missed our last show, here's a brief introduction to the sport of mountain biking.
Bit of action down there.
Mountain biking is a fun and exciting sport, suitable for the whole family, which takes place in the great Australian outdoors. It's about going up hills and going down hills as fast or as slow as you like. It's about hanging around or jumping around.
Everything's about it. It's just about being out there, and like surfing, skating, any street sport, it's just fun, enjoyment.
Competitively, mountain biking involves 4 different disciplines. Dual slalom is the simplest form of racing. 2 riders on one track with the sole objective of being first to the bottom. Cross country is a medal sport at the Olympics in Sydney this year and is a more traditional type of bike racing, contested over a short hilly circuit. It's suitable for riders of all ages, including 70-year-old Donald here. Observed Trials is a unique event which tests riders' bike handling skills as they attempt to manoeuvre over and around various obstacles without touching the ground. And downhill is purely a race against the clock. The fastest rider wins. As always, the crowd began gathering early for Sunday's downhill race, looking forward to some fast action from the likes of reigning state champion John Waddell and last year's State Series champion Derek Price. The course initially took riders through some meandering single track before entering the more difficult sections towards the bottom of the hill. The hardest part of the course, best described as the channel, even proved a challenge for last year's state junior champion, Josh White. Shortly afterwards, the riders descended a log staircase through the largest crowd of spectators, and while some raised a cheer with their skills, others provided more spectacular entertainment. The most encouragement was reserved for 12-year-old Ben Bell, who tackled the extreme conditions like a pro. Of course, every rider had another chance to improve on their first effort. However, some of them learnt that there's a fine line between faster and too fast.
The man most likely to crash.
Ultimately, every rider is aiming for a competitive time, but it was 14-year-old national sub-junior champion Sam Hill who surprised everyone with a 5-second victory overall, leaving the older racers wondering just how he does it. Monday's cross-country event brought out the supposedly fitter and generally less flamboyant members of the mountain biking fraternity, who faced a deceptively difficult course through the pine forest.
With over 100 riders starting the course in close proximity, a cloud of dust soon enshrouded the trails, adding another dimension to the already exhausting conditions.
Oh no, enjoy that dust.
Of course, every uphill was rewarded with a downhill section. However, another hill always followed to test each rider's fitness.
In a new place, she has found her tears had dried. Was it useless? Was it useless to have cried a bitter river? It's better to sever. I don't think you need to.
As if things weren't hard enough, the course designer chose to add a steep technical downhill following the longest climb.
Don't look the same, and isn't this strange? Hello, hello, what's your
Hey,
name?
stop messing around.
Fortunately, from there it was a relatively smooth run back to the finish area for a well-earned rest or the start of another lap. In the elite men's race, last year's state champion Ian Longville made his intentions known from the start, setting a hot pace, and while his competitors tried to chase him down, he continued to draw away, eventually winning by over 15 minutes. Similarly, in the elite women's event, state champion Shannon Matthews took an early lead, which she maintained to the finish, in spite of her trailing riders' best efforts.
Okay, so you want to get into mountain biking. The first thing you need is a bike. Today I'm going to run through 3 bikes for different types of riding at different price points. I'll start with the first bike here. This is a recreational type bike, very much an entry-level bike. It has got a chrome ollie frame and rigid forks, so the bike has got no suspension. The gearing system on it is Shimano, and it uses a grip shift system which operates like a motorbike throttle. The gears are fully indexed, which just means it clicks into place. This particular gear system is 21 speed. Alloy cranks with 3 chain rings, steel componentry with 7 chain rings, giving you the 21 speed. All the componentry parts are alloy. It also has alloy V-brakes, alloy rims. They are quick release, so if you do need to change tubes or do last minute repairs, pack the bike in your car, you can do that also. The brakes are V-brakes, which are a new style of brake, a lot more powerful than the old style of brakes. This type of bike sells for around about $500, and these would be the features that you'd expect to get in a bike around that price range. This is the next bike. This is now an alloy bike. This would be mainly designed for entry-level cross-country racing. You can see it's got the long flat stem. It's got front suspension now, so you can take all the hits and the bumps from your ride, makes it nice and smooth. It's now 24 speed Shimano gears also. This is rapid fire. You have 1 shifter for down and 1 shifter for up. Again, it's got the V-brakes on it. It has got better quality wheels and spokes. Again, quick release on the front and back, also with the V-brakes on it. The drive chain is a little bit better quality. Lighter componentry parts, but also stronger. Again, Shimano gearing. 3 cogs at the front, 8 at the back. This would be the next level of bike. This is what they call a dual suspension bike. It's got the front suspension, but also now it has the rear suspension. This bike would be designed for higher level use, maybe racing cross country or even entry level downhill racing. The features of this bike is that it goes to 27 speed. 3 cogs at the front, 9 cogs at the back. It also has Shimano V-brakes on it. It has a RockShox suspension and RockShox front forks. Again, the wheels are a little bit better quality, the tyres are a little bit better quality. This bike retails for about $1,800. This is the kind of features that you'll be looking for with this type of bike. With all off-road riding, don't forget, a helmet is very important, so check out a new helmet when you purchase your bike. Just recapping on the features of these bikes, this is what they call a rigid bike because there's no suspension. This would be designed for entry-level on off-road use, no suspension whatsoever. You're generally looking around $500 to $800 for this type of bike. This is the lightweight cross-country bike. This is what we call a hardtail because there's no suspension in the back, but there is front suspension here. These are generally in alloy, and you start to look around $800 to $1,200 for these type of bikes. This is the dual suspension bike. These are a lot more expensive, basically because of the componentry parts and because it has got a front suspension and rear suspension unit on it. These bikes range from $1,500 up to $10,000. Well, I quite like the dual suspension one actually. So I'll see you next month.
Hi, I'm here with Tony Davis, who's the race director of the State Championships for 1999 and the founder of Western Highland Off-Road Enthusiasts. How long have you been mountain biking for?
I've been mountain biking now since 1990, so I guess 9 years. Been riding bikes since I was 11 years of age, so we're talking about 25 years now. And yeah, I don't ride a road bike or track bike or anything anymore. I just ride off-road. It's great.
Yeah, Tony's background, if I can remember it, it's quite a lot. He's world champion in lots of things going around in circles on the track. He's ridden all over Europe. He's ridden for the best teams. He's done everything. He's pretty much the man. Overall, do you think that mountain biking's heading in the right direction towards families and fun?
Yeah, I think mountain biking, it's about being out here. It's about having fun, about riding trails at all levels. Obviously, this is a high-end level, but just ride there. My family ride, my wife, my kids ride. It's just about having fun.
So what actually attracted you away from the track and the road to mountain bike?
Oh, I just did it for too long, mate. So now I'm just riding. I live up the back of the hill there, so it's just being out in the bush. It's a lot more relaxed. No intense. You don't have to race against anyone as much as just riding trails.
Do you see it as like a lifestyle sport? Just something you adopt and you just take forever, like no matter what age?
I'll be riding forever. I don't even know that guy's name. Donald. 70. It's 70 next week. Riding the big drop off. Fantastic. And that's what it's about. It's just about being out there and like surfing, skating, any street sport. It's just fun, enjoyment.
Excellent. So that's Tony Davis, race director and club founder of Hall.
Get a chicken.
Hi folks, I'm out on the trail today. We've been around the Carinya Trail and also what will become part of the Hardwood Trail. The Carinya Loop, situated off Brookton Highway in Carragullen, is one of a number of mountain biking trails along the Darling Scarp, which have been developed with assistance from Trails West, the Ministry of Sport and Recreation, and the Lotteries Commission. This well-marked circuit is suitable for riders of all levels, consisting mainly of wide fire roads. However, it does link up with one of Perth Mountain Bike Club's racing tracks for those who are feeling a little more adventurous. Following our lap of the trail, I asked my guides about the concept behind the Hardwood Trail.
Well, it's to have a mountain biking equivalent of the Wambam track, really, to allow mountain bikers to get out there and ride on a signed trail that will go from Perth to Albany in the end.
And what stage is the trail at the moment?
At the moment we're doing quite a bit of planning. We've got a trail route from Perth down to Collie sorted out, and we're just applying for funding to start construction and signage on that. Mm-hmm. So with a bit of luck, perhaps Easter next year you'll be able to ride the first part of the trail.
And Claire, what sort of riders is the trail intended for?
Oh, pretty much anybody with a mountain bike, I suppose. So it should be something that's still interesting for people who've been riding for a while, but at the same time it's easy enough for anyone who hasn't been out before off-road.
Yeah. And of course the route today took us through Carinya, and it's also going to link up with other trails that are being built.
Yeah, well, it's going to link with a lot of the mountain bike trails that are already in existence, like Glen Eagles, a couple around Dwelling Up area, Mundaring Loop, and several others as well as that. I can't remember all of them.
And what can people do to get involved in building of the trail, etc.?
Right, when we start building, we will be looking for lots of volunteers to come out and help sign and so forth, but there's basically a Friends of the Hardwood Trail, which you can visit our website, it's based on the Wambam one, and follow the links to the Hardwood Trail there. You can fill out a form online, and we'll get to get your address and keep you informed of what's happening and the events and so forth.
So there's a great idea for you. That's a trail that's going to link up several trails from Perth all the way to Albany eventually, if you feel like a ride for a weekend or something. So we're going to get going now. I think it's time for Hungry Jacks. So I'll see you next time on the trails.
Well, that's all we've got time for tonight. On next month's show we'll have a complete wrap-up of the state round at York, which is on this weekend. If you want more information about mountain biking, you can check out the WAMBA website, or just rock into a local bike shop and pick up a 2000 West Australian Mountain Bike Association calendar. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next month.
Walking in circles, popular
G'day and welcome to Wambam. This month, coming to you from the quad compressor course at Carmel. Coming up on today's show, we've got lots of fast-paced action from the racing. Danielle gets down and dirty with state women's downhill champion Sarah Booth. Mark gives you the lowdown on what to take with you when you head off-road. And Paul gets on the trails with the boys from the Western Highlands off-road enthusiasts. But first, here's a wrap-up of all the winners and grinners from the second state round at York.
A small crowd of intrigued onlookers began gathering for the noon start of Saturday's trials event, and soon were marvelling at the competitors' skills as they manoeuvred through the various sections. Of course, practice doesn't always make perfect, and for some competitors, the obstacles proved more hindrance than help. Eventual winner Derek Price again showed why he is the state champion for this discipline. However, even he was upstaged by other riders on occasion. A large contingent of cross-country racers took over the main street following the trials event, and after being given final instructions by race director Tony Davis, they headed off en masse for their journey up and over Mount Brown.
Your mountain bike cross-country race.
After the initial long climb to the top, competitors traversed across the hill along some narrow single track. Then descended again via a series of technical downhill switchbacks.
Don't grimace, Brian. Have fun. That's it. Nice. You look easy.
Another short climb followed before riders crested the hill and began the 3-kilometre descent back to the finish in town. At the end of the day, Marianne Tollen claimed victory in the elite women's race, and Ian Longville continued his domination of the men's division. Sunday morning dawned clear but cold, conditions that led some competitors to adopt a seemingly unorthodox approach to warming up. However, as the start time drew near, an expectant group gathered on top of the hill before being led off by State Point Series leader Derek Price. Then the usual procession of riders began careering down the hill, initially through some fast, technical single track. Before tackling the much talked about drop-off. Naturally, some competitors learned that you can only push the boundaries so far. The The middle section of the course gave riders a chance to put the foot down, an opportunity which eventual winner Sam Hill obviously relished. On the other hand, 12-year-old Ben Bell showed that the ultimate goal is getting safely to the finish. Following the timed runs, a large crowd gathered at the drop-off to watch the top riders take one more shot at victory, which might have been a little painful for women's leader Sarah Booth, while Sam Hill once again made it look all too easy. After all the racing was over, everyone took some time to relax and recover before the announcement of the winners began.
Okay, you've got yourself a bike and you're keen to hit the trails. There's going to be a few important items you need to take with you. The first and the most important is the tube. Both on and off-road you'll incur punctures. This is the quickest and easiest way to repair those punctures. The next item would be the patch repair kit. This one's got tyre leaders included to help you remove the tyres from the rims. It also contains glue, patches and sandpaper. The pump is also most important as well. These are lightweight mini pumps. They'll mount onto the bike. They also do all valve types. This is an essential item as well. It's a multi-tool. This will allow you to do any minor repairs on the trail. Allen keys, screwdrivers, chain breaker and sockets. Okay, none of these items are any good unless you can carry them with you. There's a couple of options to carry all the accessories. One would be a saddle bag. These fit underneath the seat and allow you to carry everything inside the bag. You can put your tube, patch repair kit and multi-tool in there. This one also has room to carry spare change and keys. These mount securely under the seat using a quick release. And all the new modern pumps can also be carried on the frame using these clips. And of course, while doing any riding you'll need to carry water. One option would be the bike cage and bottle. However, a more preferred option would be these riding backpacks. These allow you to carry the water, which you can access via the hose, and all the components we spoke about earlier can be carried in the pockets, compartments and elastic strap. And as we discussed last month, a helmet is a must when riding a bike. All the new helmets have a visor which protects against sun and foliage. A rock lock system which supports the helmet from inside, making the helmet fit more snugly and comfortable. All helmets should be tight and secure when riding. Another tip is a pair of clear sunglasses. These will stop any insects and dirt and debris flicking into your eyes. Okay, that's everything you need to hit the trails. I'll see you next month.
after the break. We've got stacks more mountain bike action, so stay tuned.
I'm here with Sarah Booth at York State Round on the 3rd, I think, of June. And Sarah has just won. She came first in the elite women timed races. So what did you think of your riding today, Sarah?
It was okay. First off, I was a bit shaky and made a few mistakes. The second run was grand. Third one, I just fell asleep basically and fell off. But I still, got to the end.
How did the big drop off? This drop off was probably 2 metres high. Most of the guys were doing it, but Sarah's just flying off it. You're pretty happy with that?
Yeah, it was pretty good, as long as you don't lose speed.
Yeah, like the last run?
Yeah, like the last one.
So how long have you been riding for?
I've been mountain biking for about four and a half years now.
So what originally got you into it?
My mum. She couldn't give me away to anyone one stage, and I had to go with her on the cycling tour, and they're going to road racing that way.
Oh, excellent. So I heard you had a pretty good result at a national round in Canberra this year for MTBA. What was it?
It was grand. It was an excellent race. Got 5th in the elite women's downhill and 3rd in the dual slalom.
Wicked.
I was quite happy with that, considering I hadn't trained or been drinking beer all summer. So,
what advice would you give to other girls that want to get into the sport?
Get into it. Don't be afraid. Don't think it's too much for you, because it is a lot of fun. You're out there. You're doing it yourself. And you can push yourself as hard as you like. You don't have to be influenced by anyone else. And it is a lot of fun. It's a big sociable thing at the end of the day.
So did you party pretty hard this weekend, or was just cruising along, taking it easy?
A bit of both.
So do you really think you can have a lifestyle with this sport?
Of course you can. Yeah, it's something you can take anywhere around the world, around Australia. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, it gets you to see Australia and gets you to see the world in a different perspective.
So this is me and Sarah on Mount Brown looking over the gorgeous town of York. We'd like to thank York for letting us come and not smash it, but go hard. But yeah, I'll see you next race. Cool. Bye.
Okay, so last month was a pretty casual trip out on the trails out in Corinna, and this month I've managed to get myself hooked up with the boys from the Western Highlands Off-Road Enthusiast. Tony Davis here, you saw him last month. He's the president of the Western Highlands. So what can we expect from today's ride?
Just one. It's a mystery trail, one long trail.
I first realised the day was going to be an interesting one when I noticed that everyone had dual suspension bikes and protective body armour. Once Tony had led us to the start of his secret trail, the downhill charge began in earnest. Our group quickly settled into a suitable riding order, with the fastest leading the group or bringing up the rear. So we're obviously close to the city here, Tony, but you're still not giving away any hints, mate.
It's just half an hour from the city.
Tony certainly wasn't giving up this secret, but Derek gave Brad an idea of how to get out of there fast. Nobody followed Brad's lead, but eventually we found our way out of the quarry to continue our downward run. Part of the course had become slick with overnight rain, and eventually managed to claim our first casualty. Just before the end of the run, our cameraman became the second casualty of the day, suffering a flat tyre. And while he spent time replacing the tube, everybody took the opportunity to recover and prepare for the climb back to the top of the hill. Of course, just before leaving, Gary couldn't resist the opportunity to give his bike a rather unorthodox wash. Finally, just as we were preparing for the long hike back to the top of the hill, we encountered another group of trail users, and I couldn't help but wondering whether they were having as much fun.
Hi, some of you may have seen me on last month's show doing a trials display, but believe it or not, with the right amount of practice, anybody can perform these manoeuvres. Over the next few months, I'm going to be showing you how to do some of these moves. We'll start off with some of the simplest stuff that you can use in everyday riding, and we'll build up to some really hardcore, like good extreme trials moves, and you never know how far you'll go. Basically, you sort of just push into the wall. You actually use like the tyre gripping onto the wall. It's up like leaning into a wall. You can just start practicing out in the open grass. Just want to sort of push the hips forward, use your shoulders to sort of move the bike around a little bit, press against the brakes and rock it back and forth. It's all about, basically pushing against the brakes. If you feel you're falling in one direction, you just put a little bit of power on, release them and roll it forward slightly. If you feel like you're falling backwards, you can sort of use your body weight to pull the bike back. It's just all in that rocking motion. Yeah, and you'll work your way up to a level where you can track stand on like a thin wall. When you're out on the trails, you want to get over a log or body hop up some stairs in the city or whatever, you need to know how to lift the back end of the bike and get up there so you don't slam your back wheel into the object. To do that, you need to find your favourite foot. You're going to have a dominant foot which sits forward. Mine happens to be my right foot. You might be your left. You've just got to get out there and find out which foot you feel most comfortable with, basically in the forward position. Now you've sort of decided which is your favourite foot. You need to teach the back foot basically how to push down into the pedal and sort of you rock it and sort of push the foot backwards into it and sort of up and lift. You might want to just like roll along in a nice big grassy area and sort of just practice sort of flipping the bike. Once you've got your confidence up with unweighting the back end, you can do neat little tricks like the endo. We actually use the front brake and unweight the back to pivot on the front wheel. Now with moves like the endo, basically you just want to roll along at about walking pace, apply the front brake and actually lift the bike up underneath you. You initially throw your body weight forward, but then you stop your body weight and just sort of bring your legs up towards underneath you. And having a small bike is certainly a bonus for that. But you can use any mountain bike to try this move. Rather than actually throwing your body weight completely forward, you just tuck the bike underneath your legs. Okay, the next step from learning to unweight the back end of the bike is to actually learn to unweight the whole bike into a bunny hop. So the easiest way to start learning the bunny hop is just to roll along at about walking pace and try lifting the whole bike off the ground. You tuck your feet back again, you unweight the back end, but you lift with your arms to pick up the front end. You just want to do both wheels at the same time, just walking pace, a little hop, and just get your confidence up. As your confidence gets up with your bunny hop, you might want to add an obstacle to make it a little bit trickier to actually get over. For instance, like when you're riding trails and you come across logs, or you need to bunny hop up a curb in the city, you need to practice actually getting up and over something. You can do it like one wheel at a time over an object, or both wheels at the same time and clear the whole object. But once you understand the concept of unweighting the front and the back of the bike, you can not only use it for bunny hopping over objects, but actually getting up onto objects as well. Now, to get up onto this obstacle here, what you want to do is roll into it, just walking pace, pick your front wheel up and put it on top. And as you're still rolling towards it, before the back wheel can hit the edge of it, unweight it and pick it up. You want to sort of pick it up and get the back wheel a little bit higher than the front, roll onto the object, and you're up. So there's a few handy tips to get you started. You practice these manoeuvres whenever you go out on your bike. Before you know it, you're firing up walls just like this one.
Well, that's all we've got time for tonight. Don't forget to tune in next month, the first Thursday at 9:30, when we'll feature highlights from the next cross-country state round in Northcliffe this Sunday, the 9th of July. You can get more information from the WAMBA website, or you can just rock into a local bike shop and pick up a Year 2000 WAMBA calendar. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next month.
I found my life in